Hey yo, this is your boy Post. You now tune in to hoodactionnews.com. Diddy is almost free. So P. Diddy Combs is almost free in these streets. So how do you feel about Diddy being almost free? So a lot of people were mad, or you're glad. I'm going to leave a link in the description right now. I'm putting a link in the description right now. I want to see how you feel about it. Now, is he going to come home right away? One thing is for sure, two things are for certain. He didn't get charged for everything. So we will be seeing Diddy in the foreseeable future. So, like I said, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. Diddy will be coming home. And we will be seeing Diddy in the foreseeable future. Now, I'm leaving the link in the description. It's actually in the comments as we speak. If you want to talk about it, let me know. You want to be on the show, let me know. Let's talk about it. I'm going to put let's talk in the description right now. Diddy's home. How do you feel about it? I'm going to tell you how I feel about it in a couple seconds. I'm going to tell you how I feel about it in a couple seconds. Let's put the link in the description. Let's talk. Now I know there's a lot of people who are definitely 1,000 1 billion% are going to be mad that Diddy's home. But now I want to ask you the question. I want to ask you a serious question. All right. I want to ask you a serious question. Let me just get this up on the screen. Now I want to ask you a serious question. Was he in court for the right thing? So was Diddy in court for the right thing? So did Diddy do apples and he was in court for oranges? So, like I said, was Diddy in court for apples and he did the crime for oranges? Now, you and I, we all know that pretty much black males in general always are in jail for the wrong crime. Now, I'm not saying that people shouldn't be in jail, but at least try to put us in jail for doing what we actually did. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it even where I'm from in Philadelphia, they stay doing that in court. You know, you might be a criminal, but they got you in there for something else that you didn't even do. So you gotta put you gotta be doing the right time for the right crime. So I'm gonna repeat that again. You gotta be doing the right time for the right crime. Like it gotta match. This just didn't match. Sex trafficking. Why would a billionaire? So let me ask you this: why would a billionaire participate in sex trafficking or pimping, whatever you want to call it? Why would a billionaire participate in that? Right? Now you see how I got the Diddy baby oil on the screen, right? Now I'm gonna tell you what y'all just did, right? You got him in court for the wrong crime, right? Doesn't match the video. Now, does the video is the video a great assassination of character, yes, because it was a horrific crime. Cassie should have took Diddy to court for domestic abuse. Instead, like I said, you charging him for apples and the crime he's doing is oranges. So you got Diddy in court for apples, and the crime you charging him for is oranges. Make let make this make sense, right? You got my man in court for apples, and you charging him for oranges. So, like I said, make this make sense. Make this make sense. Now, currently, the latest news is he was denied bond. So that means obviously he's not going to get out right away. But compared, I mean, just compared to what my man, compared to what he was just in jail for. Whoop, fix my mic. So they got him in court. They got him in court. Give me one second. So listen, they tried to charge him for oranges, and you got him in court for apples, and he did apples. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. Whatever way you want to cut the cake or the pie, whatever you like, right? Diddy should not be in court for pimping or sex trafficking. That was just them trying to just put anything on him. You know what I mean? Now, he was denied bond. So let's look more into why he's denied bond. Now, the people that really, 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 really want this dude to be in jail, this is the last thing that they're holding it on to, is that he was denied bond. But this little bit of time, even if he is in jail for like 2 years, this little bit of time he's about to do is going to be nothing for a dude from Harlem. You know what I mean? A little bit of jail time ain't gonna be nothing. I'm gonna tell y'all that. So this little bit of jail time ain't really about to be about nothing like that. You know what I mean? So let's see more on why he's denied bond.
Courthouse. Lisa, what was the decision by the judge to deny bail for Diddy?
Well, Bianca and Natasha, first of all, this I'm sure was a tremendous disappointment to his mother and to his children and to his other family, and as well as to the supporters that we've seen out here outside of the courthouse. But in terms of the legality of it, according to Attorney Jeremy Sallin, who we've been speaking with this hour, he said that this is fairly standard in terms of a conviction on these prostitution transportation charges, which are the two counts that Diddy was found guilty of. Now, what the big argument and the big push to keep him behind bars obviously came from the prosecutors. I'm sure it seemed that they were very upset about the verdict from the jury not getting that RICO case that they had pushed so hard for against the better advice of some in the legal community who didn't think that was appropriate in this particular circumstance. They also lost out on the sex trafficking. That was not guilty. And they said at this morning, the prosecution said that.
Yo, now I'm gonna tell you what kills me about this. Prostitution, transportation. So to me, isn't that every single chick that you order a ride? Like, what's the difference between you ordering a ride for a prostitute and ordering a ride? So let me ask you this: if you order a ride, say you meet some random chick, and you know what I mean, and she want to come over your crib, whatever. How do you know she's a prostitute? This what makes this bullshit. Like, how do you know? How do you actually know that this chick, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, anybody, any female can be a prostitute. Anybody could be a prostitute. So Not unless he randomly said it, in his phone. Now I don't know. He may have made, you know, order a ride for the hookers. So what did he text somebody? Order a ride for the hookers? I seriously doubt it. I seriously doubt it.
Your Honor, we need several hours to come back and consider bail. Otherwise, they would have just considered the bail, the bail application and the bail situation right there shortly after the verdict was read. That was not the case. They were granted all these extra hours, the extra afternoon. Sean Diddy Combs sitting in a holding cell all the while this afternoon while they're crafting these letters to the judge to explain their positions. And the defense was arguing his mother, who we've seen many times here on Fox 5 going in and out of court every single day to support her son. She's 85 years old. The argument of the defense was that he's her primary caregiver, and certainly he is the closest relative to her, and that he also has a 3-year-old baby daughter, baby love Sean Combs, and that's her name. And so that was their argument, but the prosecution he still remains a danger. They wanted him behind bars until the sentencing, and this was, I'm sure, was devastating to Combs and many of the family who seemed elated. They were elated, in fact, when they heard those not guilty verdicts. But it's one more step, and as we've seen with Combs in other situations, once he's determined.
So this is the judge or whoever made the decision. This is them trying to be petty, because remember, the judge can't tell the jury. So the jury let him off on that. So to me, this is the judge trying to be petty.
Determined he's going to see it through. The worst is over in one sense, in that he is no longer looking at life behind bars. On the other hand, his attorneys will have to file an appeal to this to this denial of bail. And remember, they had several bail applications throughout the course of the pre-trial conferences and after his arrest that were completely denied, and those were just eye-popping bail packages. $50 million, 24-hour armed guards, an Upper East Side apartment where there was limited access, no internet access for him, monitoring cameras, monitoring his activities, no guests allowed coming in, and that was denied. So we'll see what happens now, but this has to be a devastating blow for the family. The family's been very united and come together at this. We saw the two sprinters that have taken most of the family after 1 o'clock this afternoon, or a little bit earlier, a little bit after that, excuse me, after they found out the hearing would be at 5 o'clock. They all went out together to have lunch or to have something to eat, if in fact they could do that. I'm sure many of them thinking, okay, you know what, Dad's coming home, my son's coming home, that type of thing.
Diddy's
home.
home.
Will not have to spend another night in the MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center, which is a place nobody wants to go. And so that's what it is. It's just a devastating blow for them. They went from this high this morning of realizing that there's just those 2 counts.
Yo, even if my man, if he do like 2 years, if just say he get like a year or 2 of jail, he's still home. He's facing life in jail.
Of the prostitution, transportation that they're facing, and that that can be dealt with over time. That's a far cry, Bianca, Natasha, from looking at the possibility of life behind bars, which would have been with the RICO case and many decades on the sex trafficking case, because that also carries a very, very heavy penalty. But that's it for today so far. And then tomorrow the courtroom will be. Tomorrow, the whole courthouse is on administrative leave, is on administrative closure, meaning that they will be. We're getting excuse me one second. We're getting interference from all the helicopters up above. So tomorrow,
Lisa,
the courthouse that you see right behind me, where the trial's taking place and where this bail hearing just happened,
don't cut her off.
That will be closed for an administrative closure. There will be no activity there, no scheduled activity there. Friday, the courthouse is federal holiday closed. It's always closed on Saturdays and Sundays. So there was obviously a pressure to get this decision in before the holiday weekend, and I'm sure there's a lot of disappointment all the way around that they just couldn't bring him home tonight, Natasha and Bianca.
Yeah, Lisa, you mentioned that the $50 million bail package, which is pretty extreme. Why was that not enough to convince the court to let him go on bond here, especially with all those other extra things you were talking about?
Could you repeat that again? I'm sorry. Could you repeat that again?
The $50 million bond and bail package that you mentioned, including the other restrictions, those list of restrictions that you mentioned, you would think that that would be enough for a judge to say, all right, I can agree to this, but it wasn't. So there was a reason behind that. And why was that?
Diddy's home.
Yes. Well, the reason behind that, and that's a great question. What the reason behind that particular denial was the fact that the feds, when you're in prison or you're in jail, they're monitoring all your calls, and they tell you straight up, we're monitoring all your calls. The lead prosecutor, Maureen Comey, told the judge that he had been using other people's phone privileges, because when you're a detainee, you only have a certain number of phone calls at a certain time, using other people's phone privileges to make calls to intimidate witnesses, and that this would not be allowed. And then, as we've heard throughout the day here today with some of our legal experts, that witness intimidation is a crime or an allegation they take extremely seriously here. But the question is that even a factor now, because he was not convicted of the sex trafficking or the RICO. So I'm sure it was very disappointing for the defense. For the prosecution, it was like, well, at least we got something, and they got the transportation for prostitution. But I think it was a big come down for the federal prosecutors. That's what pretty much every legal commentator and legal expert is.
Hey, yo, you know what's sad about that charge? That's like, listen, that's like every other dude in America. Like every other dude in America at some point in time has been involved with doing something with strippers. If you ever had a strip party or been to a strip party, like half of strippers are prostitutes, yo. So this United States is real hypocritical when they want to get you, they want to get you. And that's just the bottom line. So when they want to come and get you in the United States, they just want to come and get you. Because literally half of every dude in the United States has been to some type of stripper party or some type of party with strippers, even a strip club. You know what I mean? You know damn well that half of strippers sell box, and y'all know that. So half of strippers, 50% of these, probably more than that. To be honest, y'all, I think I'm being generous. 50% of these chicks that be in the strip club be selling box. If the price is right, like Bob Barker, you know what I mean? If the price is right, like Bob Barker, 50% of them, right? About 50%. Now, I'm gonna show you something, right? Now, mind you, I'm not going to sit here and say that black people want Diddy to get off, right? Because black women don't want Diddy to get off, and maybe like 35% of black dudes, maybe like 50% just don't even care, right? Me, I was just waiting to see what he actually did or what he actually didn't do. Because if they got proof that you did what you did, like what whether I want you to get off or not, it don't matter. But I knew damn well that they were not going to have proof that Diddy is pimping out chicks. Call it like it is. It's pimping out chicks. Human trafficking is pimping out chicks. At this point in his career, with the amount of money he's got, you know that Diddy wasn't pimping out chicks. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say that again. At the point in Diddy's career that he was in, billionaire, this, that, and the third, you know that Diddy wasn't pimping out chicks. Was he involved with the freak offs and all that other stuff? Yes, but all that stuff is not a crime, until you order prostitutes. So you having wild parties. Having wild parties is not a crime now unless you got drugs there or something like that. But you know goddamn well that at this point in his career, he wasn't pimping out chicks. All the residuals from the music and everything else. You got a TV, different companies, real estate, money just rolling over in the bank. Stock, probably got stocks, all type of stuff. You know damn well that Diddy didn't have to pimp out chicks. So this was definitely high level BS. Now, is he coming home? Yeah, he coming home. Now, I want you to see, I want you to see all the fake outrage out there, right? I want you to see.
And grim after the jury said it had reached a verdict on 4 of the 5 counts. Now, acquitted of the most serious charges, Mr. Combs appears energetic and released from Brooklyn jail, where he has been.
I want you to see how mad. I'm pulling this up on screen. Yo, I want y'all to see how mad the public is. Now, I don't watch this lady's show, but I caught a glimpse of it from somebody else's show, right? But I want you to see how mad the public is. Now, mind you, he did get convicted of what he did. So I'll repeat that again. He did get convicted of what he actually did. But now people they want black males to get convicted of stuff you don't even do. And that's the whole point. A lot of black men get, not a lot, more than a lot of black males get convicted of shit they didn't even do. Cause you want to get me on one thing, so you gonna make up some more shit. You know what I mean? You know, I might be a drug dealer, but I'm not a kidnapper. You know what I mean? You can't get me on kidnap. You gotta catch me selling drugs, cause it's the law. You know what I mean? I wasn't born with a silver mouth in my mouth, Miss Jenkins. Pause. I wasn't built with a silver spoon, Miss Jenkins. It's the law, Miss Jenkins. Remember that from New Jack City? It's the law. Trying to get the shadow out my damn face. So look, I'm gonna play this, right? Look how mad people are. Look how mad people are.
I'm so confused about, here's a little bit more. New York Times, with a touch of levity, the judge said he assumed Combs would not want to return to the Brooklyn jail where he has been held. Combs shook his head vigorously and put his hands together in prayer. Oh, it's all just so chummy inside the courtroom for this disgusting pervert female abuser who I can't believe is about to roam our streets again. I'm sorry, I'm disgusted by this verdict. This is fucking ridiculous. I just find it absolutely outrageous, the amount of crime that this guy just got away with. I believe he committed arson. He definitely battered Cassie. He battered Jane too. The statute of limitations for battery in Los Angeles, California is 1 year. 1 year. So if they didn't charge him for battery within 1 year, and they couldn't because he bought the tape and it remained hidden thanks to those security guards out there, then they could never charge him with that again. There's no question. He dragged her back into that hotel room. Why wasn't that kidnapping? They only talked about the kidnapping.
Yo, so I want you to listen to everything. So he was not in court for domestic abuse, right? Now, I'm gonna keep it a whole buck with you. If he was in jail for domestic abuse, I would have been like, oh yeah, he about to go to jail, right? The whole point of the whole point of why he's about to get off is you got him in court for the wrong thing. I don't know how all these people don't see that. You can't be in your feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I run a traffic light You know what I'm saying? You can't bring me in court for domestic abuse because I run a traffic light. You got to bring me in court for the traffic light. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know why people think why they even want the system to the shit had yo, what I'm saying, the shit has to match. You're bringing people in for one thing, trying to charge them for another thing. It has to match at some point, is what I'm trying to say. And this in this Diddy situation, it didn't match. You're bringing them in for oranges, and you're trying to charge them for apples. Apples and oranges are two different fruits.
Of Capricorn Clark, who was his sort of main assistant, because she said he grabbed her and made her go with him over to Kid Cudi's house. There's no question he broke into Kid Cudi's house, in my view.
That don't have nothing to do with domestic abuse. That has nothing to do with human trafficking or pimping.
And that he opened up the Christmas presents and locked the door in and made a threat. There's no question in my mind he was behind the arson of Kid Cudi's car, and there was proof
that he would have to be in court for arson. See what I'm saying?
Plenty of proof to prove that. No, okay, there was female fingerprints they found on that, the firebomb that was left there, the Molotov cocktail. And the prosecution said there's no question he didn't do it himself, but he said, I'm going to bomb Kid Cudi's car. It's in writing. Cassie Ventura emailed her mother saying, oh my God, he's threatening to bomb his car. And 2 weeks later, it got bombed. Oh, gee, it was just some third party who also had, it's just like the proof was there, yeah. The beatings, the threats that.
The proof wasn't there. The proof wasn't there. And that's the whole thing. The proof is not there that he did all of this stuff. And my man is going to walk scot-free. You know what I'm saying? Scot-free Diddy. He is going to walk scot-free because the evidence is not there. You want the evidence to be there, obviously. The evidence is not there. So like I said, the evidence, a lot of people are outraged. Now I'm not going to say is definitely females are definitely outraged, but nobody's saying out here, and definitely on my platform, nobody's saying that he is a good person. Nobody's saying that Diddy is a good person. Now, what we are saying is that you can, like, what you're trying to get him on is the wrong thing. You know, and that's what I'm saying on my platform. Like, you try to you try to get him for the wrong thing. Now, just going through this whole thing is a lot of karma, a lot of money loss and stuff like that, a lot of embarrassment, a lot of shame, right? Because I mean, we got you on live TV beating the hell out of a woman live on TV in HD quality. You know what I mean? Whatever quality you want, 4K or whatever. But is this right? No, it's not right. But you got my man in court for the wrong thing. So you're going to get more Diddy and they're going to free Diddy. Now, is he coming home tonight? No, because they just denied bail. So they just denied bail. He's not coming home tonight. But is he coming home soon? For sure. Diddy will be home soon. And like I said, I'm not, a lot of people's feathers are going to be ruffled and stuff like that. But at the same time, you cannot convict, and they sat and deliberated this case. The jury deliberated, they sat down and did their thing, and they said, no, he is not a human, he's not a human trafficker. He wasn't pimping out chicks. Yeah, you have evidence that he ordered hookers. That's like 50% of men. It's like 50% of men. Yo, leave a comment below. What percentage of men do you think actually have indulged in or indulge in prostitution? You know what I mean? Because this is legal in other countries. So it's legal in other countries. So do you really think that Diddy is the only person that ever did this in history? Like, you know what I mean? Let's not be hypocrites. In DC, like I want you to look up states that pandering is a maybe I'll do a whole show on this. Pandering is basically pimping, solicitation of prostitution. Some states it's a felony, some states it's a misdemeanor. I want you to really look at that. So if the United States is so gun ho on human trafficking and prostitution, why is it a misdemeanor in some states and why is it a felony in some states? Right? Now that's a whole nother topic. But was he doing this at this stage in his career? Oh yeah, I'm a billionaire and I'm just oh yeah, just think about it. Oh yeah, I'm a billionaire and I'm just going to go out and just be a pimp. You know what I mean? I'm going to watch the Mac or Willie Dynamite and I'm just going to go out and be a pimp after I made billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like, make this make sense for me. Now, is he a monster? Yeah, he's 100% a monster. We got you live on TV, whooping ass, Ike Turner style, right? So we know you're a monster, but you can't like you gotta find like, and then this is the thing too. I'm gonna tell you where Cassie looks bad at, right? This is where Cat like if you know this dude was whooping your ass, why didn't you go to the cops? This is I don't understand this. We know the answer to the question is the money, the fame, and everything else. But if you knew this dude was whipping your ass, why didn't you go to the cops? Why would you settle out of court? You know what I mean? Like that's the thing about it. Now, if you go to the if you actually go to the cops, I don't know if you can do both. I'm not a lawyer. You know, go to the cops and try to get some money out of it. I'm pretty sure you can go to the cops and sue somebody at the same time. But is he going to be home soon? Yeah. Now let me find out something. Let's see how soon he's going to be home. They probably don't know that yet. Well, let's see something. So how soon is leave a comment below. What do you think about this? Was Diddy in jail for oranges and they trying to charge him for apples? What do you think? You know what I mean? It says, I'm coming home, baby. So he got acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering. So he definitely coming home. He definitely coming home. You know what I mean? I want to see if it. So let's look at his family's reaction to the verdict. I didn't see this. So we're going to see this shit live. You know what I mean? Because I didn't see this. Let's look at his family's reaction to the verdict. Freddy's back. Freddy's back. Yo, you ever seen Freddy Krueger? Yo, you ever seen the movie Freddy Krueger when they tell you Freddy's back? Diddy's back. Diddy's back. But I'm gonna tell you, yo, he about to come home. Diddy is about to be the real life candy man. Listen, we know that Diddy's coming home now. Diddy's about to be real life Candy Man. Remember the movie Candy Man? Is he Candy Man or Freddy? Real life Candy Man out here. You do something like that, and then you get. Cause look, remember, all of this is not for the video we saw, and that's what's wild about this. The video we saw of him dragging Cassie like a fruit roll up. This is not what he was in jail for, or this is not what he's in court for. That's what's wild about this whole thing.
The family of Sean Diddy Combs celebrating after learning his long-awaited fate in court. The family staying stoic as they entered Diddy's courthouse July 2nd, before departing with smiles and waves after hearing the media mogul's partial victory, not guilty on 3 out of the 5 counts, covering charges for racketeering and sex trafficking.
I don't particularly like this dude's voice. So this dude's, you know what I mean? We get it. I just want to see the video of, yeah, my man sound a little sweet chuckle. I don't particularly want to. I'm gonna take the volume off. Can't, hey yo, you can't go from my voice to this dude's voice. You know what I mean? This is his family coming out of court. That's his daughter right there. That's his son. Plenty of music is probably about to come out too. I would definitely put music out. Look at a little fake drawing of, yeah, you would be like that too if you know you about to get life in prison. So this is the family coming out. See, yo, I'm telling you, inside a black family's house. Now I don't want to say that. Now let's just say this. I'm pretty sure his mom said you shouldn't have been messing with that girl anyway. Pretty sure his mom said you shouldn't have been messing with that girl anyway. But now we're not gonna pretend. Listen, we're not gonna pretend like Diddy's not a monster, right? But we know for a fact, right? And I'm gonna leave it on this picture right there, right? We know for a fact that black men go to jail. I'm in court for oranges, and you try to charge me for apples. This shit happens all the time. Even the dude, one of the dudes that escaped from jail in Louisiana was trying to say the same thing, right? He was like, yo, y'all got me in court for, you charged me for this. I didn't even do this. You got to charge me for that. This happens all the time. You know what I mean? Detectives even try to do this. Like, you ever, I'm gonna give you an example. You ever see when they bring dudes in for the lineup, and it's like a whole bunch of dudes in the lineup, right? And they point out one, even if they point out the wrong person, that person is going to jail for something they didn't do. So if you're in the lineup getting ID, 10 times out of 10, you're gonna go to jail for something you ain't do. You're gonna have to beat the case. You're gonna have to prove that you're not the person that this person pointed at in the lineup. And a lot of times, now I know this for 100% for sure. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times the detective will they'll try to say, yo, is it this person? Is it this person? Because they want to get that person in jail for anything. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be like that. You gotta, I gotta do the crime, do the time, but you can't get me in there for stuff I didn't even do. You know what I mean? You gotta bring me in for whatever I did. Now, will he get his issue, you know what I'm saying, whatever you want to call it, his what do you call it? His karma. Yeah, that's gonna be between him and God, right? That's between him and God and his kids. Definitely ain't throwing, this man probably will never throw another party again in his life. And he probably is going to use lotion. He ain't is not going to use baby oil ever again. Listen, listen. Diddy ain't never ever gonna use baby oil again in his life. You know what I'm saying? He might as well start a shea butter line. Diddy butter. Diddy shea butter. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think my baby oil days is over. He's gonna be shea butter Diddy. I listen, look, I wouldn't be surprised if this dude grow dreads and he gonna be Earth Diddy. My man is gonna be Earth Diddy out here. He gonna grow dreads, get, you know what I'm saying? Get the shea butter out, and my man is gonna be Earth Diddy out here. You know what I mean? I bet. Listen, 10 times out of 10, my man's about to be Earth Diddy. Mm. But yo, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and we about to have more Diddy is coming. Now, when he fully gets out, one thing I'm really like, I'm sitting here like, is this dude, is he gonna hide, or like is he gonna go to Bali with Russell Simmons? Now, I don't think I don't think with the charges he'll be able to leave the United States. Um Now I heard a couple people say, will he return back to Hollywood status? This dude, you know how much real estate he probably got? He's not going to care about no Hollywood. You could live through your kids and stuff like that. The money's still going to come, and he still got fans. This dude could just drop another album, and this dude is going to be up, go back on tour, all of that. Now, the one thing I the one thing is coming to mind, right? One thing that is coming to mind, right, is Diddy. Move my mic over here. Yo, one thing that's coming to mind is Diddy. Remember, is out here saying no Diddy, right? Everybody said no Diddy, no Diddy. So all these people that are saying no Diddy, are they gonna double back and then be back talking to Diddy again? That's what I wonder. You know what I mean? So everybody that was online saying no Diddy, remember it's been cute to say no Diddy for this amount of time, but now this man's walking free. You know this man is going to have different business ventures. You know what I mean? Now, business wise, I don't think fit. I don't think. Yeah, even if he got the tour for a little bit, I don't think this dude is going to be broke. But listen, this your boy Post. You're now tuned in to hoodactionnews.com. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'm Izzo.